If you have an LG dryer that's not turning on, let me show you what to check. So this is the dryer we're looking at. We turn it on. It does power on, but it simply doesn't start spinning or turning. So I'm gonna press start. As you can see, nothing happens. It's supposed to be running right now. So I'm gonna show you what to check first. Always unplug the machine first. Now we're gonna pop this top panel off first. You're gonna remove these screws down here. There's usually between 2 and 4 screws right at that panel. And then you're gonna push this back piece, top piece, just back just like that. And then we're gonna lift up on that. So what you're gonna look at once you take the panel off, the easiest thing to check is the belt. Is it still on there tight? Is it loose? If it's still on there, it's not your belt. So we're gonna check the next thing, which would be your thermal fuse, which starts the dryer. To get into this dryer, the main thing you're gonna need is a Phillips head bit and a drill, or just a Phillips head screwdriver. That will take a little more time. First, we're gonna remove these screws here. There's one here and one here, so we can get off this control panel. Next, there's a few screws right here we're gonna remove. Phillips head as well. There's one there and one over here. It also wouldn't hurt to have a Phillips head screwdriver. We're basically gonna stick this in between the panel here and start prying it back. There's just a few little clips and then it will come loose like that. Then we're gonna pull this up and then we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this wire from this control panel so we can set this to the side. Next, we're gonna work on this front door here. So we're gonna take these Phillips head screws out here on both sides. We're gonna open the door, take out the 2 screws down here by the lint trap. Be careful, that's ready to come loose. We're gonna shut the door back, and then you can just disconnect the door switch here, just like that. Then lift up, then we're gonna set this over to the side. Next, we're gonna disconnect this switch down here. And then we're going to take this top panel off, which we've already taken the screws out. They were the ones up top. So that should just pop right off, just like that. Then we're gonna start removing the screws around this piece here. All right, next we're gonna lift up on this and remove it from the cabinet. It just sits on these little hooks. You just gotta work with it a little bit. This is zip tied to this, so I'm gonna just put this over to the side like that, kind of get it out of the way. And now we're gonna go ahead and remove the drum. So to remove the drum, I'm gonna stick one of my arms right here, and the other under here. And then I'm going to get the tensioner pulley, which is right under there. And I'm gonna push it to the left and then pull the belt off. Now I have the belt loose, so I'm gonna grab it from the top. I'm gonna pull the whole drum out, just like that. So since you couldn't see what I was doing, I pushed this over and that relieved tension on the belt, and then I pulled the belt off of the motor shaft and the pulley. Next, we're gonna need our multimeter. I will link one down in the description if you need one. They're fairly inexpensive, and this will help you diagnose a lot of things on your dryer. So we're gonna check the fuse that makes the dryer turn on first. So put it on continuity. And that fuse is right here on the blower housing. So we're gonna disconnect those wires, and then we're gonna touch our 2 prongs to each side. As I suspected, it did blow that fuse, so we're gonna go ahead and replace it. If the fuse was good, I'm gonna show you how to check the thermal cutoff on the heating element. It would sound like this. That means it's good. And while you're here, you can also check your element, your thermal cutoff, and whatever else you need to check while you're in the dryer. We're gonna grab a Phillips head again, take the screw out, and then that allows us to remove this. There's actually one more screw on the bottom, 2 screws holding it in. And that is what we're replacing. So here's our replacement fuse, and if it's good, you should have continuity and you'll hear your multimeter beep just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one back in. All right, now we're gonna start putting that fuse back in. Got our bottom screw, now we're gonna put our top screw. And then we're going to reconnect our 2 wires here, and then we're gonna reassemble the machine. If you do need that replacement fuse, I'm gonna link it in the description down below, and you can purchase the direct fuse for this model there. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab our drum, put it back, and I'm gonna show you how this belt goes before I install the drum. So the easiest way to explain the belt is once you have it on there, you're gonna slide the back of the belt on the back of the pulley and the rib side of the belt on the drum motor, just like this. And then the rest of this wraps around the drum itself. So that's what it's gonna look like. That's kind of the best I could show you since we can't get the camera down there once we put it on. So to go over that again, we're gonna do the back of the belt on the back of the pulley, then the rib side of the belt over the motor shaft, and then you're gonna tension it up like this. So we're gonna set this in place like that, and now we're gonna connect the belt. Now we have the belt connected. If it's connected properly, when you turn this, it should turn the fan down below, just like that. And now we're ready to put it back together. Next, we're gonna grab this piece here, and we're gonna go ahead and start putting it back together. We're gonna lift it up on each side, and it slides into those little slots. And then an easy way to do it is push down on the bottom here, turn the drum, and it kind of sits into place. And then you can lift it up to fit it in the bottom slots as well. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our Phillips head screws back in. Whoops, I dropped that one. We're gonna go 1, 2. If I can get the hole lined up here. That one's being stubborn. 3rd screw here. And then our 4th screw here. Now we're gonna go ahead and reconnect this sensor down here. And then we're gonna put this metal piece back on top next. We're gonna slide this down on each side, just like that. Now we got our door on the bottom. You see those little tabs where it lines up right there and right there. You'll feel it kind of sit in place once you get it lined up right. If you forget to plug this in, your dryer will not start as well. So make sure that's plugged in. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the screws back in this. Put our top screws back in. We're gonna go ahead and put our screws back in by the lint trap. Now we have our control panel here. I'm gonna run this wire back through and then reconnect that. I believe it goes like this. We're gonna set this right in place here. Remember, it kind of pops in on both sides, just like that. Now we're gonna put the top back on. And then we're gonna put our screws back in the back here. Now we have the machine plugged back in. We're gonna turn it on and see if she turns on. And now we have a running LG dryer. So pretty simple fix. I know it's a lot of steps to get to that fuse, but once you get there, it's not hard to replace. Hopefully this got your LG dryer up and running again. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get back with you. Have a good day.